Hi guys, and welcome back to episode number 5 of the Memory Box. Today we're joined by K&R coach Gus. Gus is a semi-professional footballer playing with Tom at Kingstonians currently, but he also is a coach at Palace Under 9. So he does have a little bit of experience in the game, so it should be a good one today. Similar questions to what we have been doing. From what I know, I think Gus is an Arsenal fan, so we'll see a few Arsenal bits in there, unfortunately.
Don't worry, Gus.
It's going to be
I should have worn my Arsenal top. Sorry. I should have worn my Arsenal top.
Anyway, so to start with, Gus, I've just been asking people generally, what is their first memory of football? Or as far back as you can remember.
My first memory was around the 03-04 season when Arsenal went unbeatable for the whole season. I think that season made me really fall in love with football, seeing the way Henry and Vieira used to just dominate teams, and the way we won the title, and that's what made me really fall in love with Arsenal and football in general. Seeing the goals, the way Arsenal celebrated, in fact the way Man United and all the other teams, Liverpool wanted to chase Arsenal to get them, to beat them. That really made me think, this kind of sport that I felt for, really. So yeah.
What about
that time, early 03-04?
What about generally in terms of first memory of playing? Do you have any
First memory of
memories?
Yeah, I used to play in the Tundridge division. I think it's called Tundridge. Yeah, Tundridge League, and we used to have the under nines. I think it was Tundridge under nines, and we just went similar to Arsenal. What Arsenal did, we actually dominated the league. Went through, maybe lost once or twice. We wanted to kind of copy Arsenal. So that was my first memory playing in Tundridge, and turn up Sunday league, beating teams 6-0, 10-0, whatever the score is. So yeah, and that was my first memories.
So just on that, Gus, obviously you started off as most of us in terms of grassroots level. Obviously our kids teams in K&R are playing at Tandrews League now. So obviously from there, I know obviously we play together now, but talk about just briefly your journey from Tandrews football into becoming obviously a professional, and then obviously now back in the non-league standards.
Yeah. I played Tunbridge when I was under nines, and the end of under nines I got scouted for Palace. But I remained with the Tunbridge with my team until the end of the season. So then the next season I went into Palace for a trial at under 10s, and I think it was a 6 week trial, but I got in quite quicker than it was. So got into Palace from under 10s, and went through the foundation phase from 9 to 12 phase. Then went to the YDP phase, which is 13 to 16, and then I went into the pro phase, which would be 17 to whatever age, which is pro phase. So I went through all the phases throughout Palace. So I think I was playing for Palace, if I can do the maths right, about a good 11, 12 years.
Oh, brilliant. And
yeah,
just on that,
12 years, yeah.
Oh, brilliant. And just on that, the boys that obviously you come through the youth team with, I remember it as well, coming through at Millwall. Obviously, a lot of faces and friends change through the age groups. But just to sort of give our kids who are watching this, and parents as well, a sort of brief view on how many boys, obviously, from those youth teams stayed with you and made it to become a professional like yourself.
From my original team, from the under 10s.
Yeah.
I think there was three of us from the under 10s all the way to pro phase. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's quite a low number, as you can tell.
Yeah.
But it's quite difficult because a few of them just kind of when after every age, people drops out, people got released, people got injured. So it's
different factors.
The way people dropped out, it's many different factors. So it's not just to do being released because you're not good enough. It could be getting released because you got injuries, you got family issues, you fell out of the game through love or whatever. It could be anything. So it's not just to do with ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, perfect. Next thing I've been asking people is just generally, was there any one player that really stood out for you, maybe in your childhood or as you got a little bit older, that sort of you see as like an iconic player that had a big influence on your game?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, it would be Patrick Vieira and Henry. Those two. I think mainly Vieira because I'm a central midfield player.
Tom,
And
is there any resemblance between Vieira and Gus? Playing
Oh,
style.
Gus likes to tackle like Vieira, and to be fair, Gus drives at the ball like Vieira used to. Vieira's passing is probably a bit better than Gus's. But
Yeah,
I'm glad he said Vieira rather than Henry.
Huh?
I said I'm glad you said Vieira rather than Henry.
But mate, Vieira was the main man, so you know who don't want to be the main man.
Great player, great leader, especially in those Arsenal teams that you spoke about before. So
yeah.
So generally, if you had to pick one out of Vieira and Henry, you said you'd go with Vieira, yeah?
Yeah, just because of the position where I play centre mid and Vieira plays centre mid. But player-wise, I'll pick Henry, the legend.
Yeah, I think everyone has him down as obviously probably Prem's all-time greatest striker. Maybe it's up for debate, but
you're not wrong. He's the best. He's the best player. He's the best ever striker to play in the Prem. Drogba just behind.
Tom, who's just behind?
Drogba or Torres, one of them.
Nah, not for me.
Who's one for you?
I think Aguero comes second, or someone like Shearer for his goal scoring.
Yeah, maybe.
Not Drogba.
A big statement, but I'll probably have to say I don't know, but you've got players like Bergkamp and.
No, but striker don't count. Striker. Bergkamp was like number 10, really, innit?
Yeah, okay. So out and out striker. Maybe. Yeah. You caught me off guard a little bit. I've got to think about that, but Henry is definitely be up there.
Henry's top 100%. It's just there's a couple in for a shout for second, in my opinion. Just moving on then. Three if you've got them. 3 iconic or memorable games either that you've played in. So I know we had Alex on. Tom's done a couple and mentioned a few games that he played in, obviously in the FA Cup this season. Yeah. Or just generally games you've watched live that really stood out for you for whatever reason.
For me, first game would be when FA Youth Cup, Crystal Palace versus Liverpool at Anfield, and we played the likes of Raheem Sterling, Conor, Coady, Robinson, Flanagan, all those kind of players like Suso. I don't know if you're aware of those players.
Yeah.
And playing there, working out at Anfield, it was something like that I'll never forget. I think that was Youth Cup. I think 2015. I can't remember what age it was. Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah, that game there was probably my best ever game I played in, because I think we played them in the quarterfinals. If you was to beat them, we'd have had Man United away, where we would have played Pogba and Ravel Morrison and all those players. So something that season that was really, really good. And Chelsea, I think it was Chelsea. Was it Chelsea that ended up winning it? I can't remember, but that was one of my main things. Another one, I watched Tottenham versus Arsenal live when Emmanuel Adebayor scored a screamer of a volley at White Hart Lane. I don't know if you boys remember it.
Oh, testing the knowledge.
And then volley like right in the roof of the corner. I'll send you a video of it.
Yeah, I'll have a look at it. What was the final score?
Arsenal won. 3-1, I think it was. It was a high-scoring game. Yeah, so GHASS and
whenever someone mentions the Arsenal Tottenham games, the one that straight away comes to mind for me, I know you won't like this as an Arsenal fan, but the one at the Emirates when it was, I think it was 4-4 and Bentley scored that half. Yeah, that must be one of the, obviously from a neutral in that. Do you know what I mean? In that them two teams, that is a game that stood out for me whenever someone mentions Arsenal Tottenham.
I think it's a really underrated derby, to be fair. Because if you think about it, there's been some crazy games. Like a lot of them have been quite high scoring and some unreal goals. I know Danny Rose, back when Danny Rose was young, scored a worldie of a volley.
His first goal that was in it.
Yeah, and he just rocketed it top corner. I don't think he scored since, has he?
Nah, I don't think so. He hasn't played since.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay, that's two. You got a third one for us?
Last game would be the Champions League final defeat to Barcelona. I was up for that game. I thought we had Henry, best player in the world at that time.
Yeah.
And to be fair, we got Jens Lehmann sent off in the first 15 minutes, which didn't help us. And we held on back.
Yeah, it was a close game still, even though you had 10 minutes. It was a close game. I remember that.
Yeah. But Henrik Larsson came on and just changed the game really. So yeah, those are my 3 games.
Who scored in that game for Barca? Because I can recall the goal.
It's Belletti.
I'm not sure. I can recall the goal.
I can't remember the name.
Belletti.
It's Defo Eto.
Yeah.
And then it was the right back.
The right back who ended up going to Chelsea. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember.
I think that's might
it's
be
something like a B.
Yeah.
I
can picture the goals. I just can't picture who it was that scored.
Yeah, he went for Almunia's legs.
Yeah. Almunia, what a keeper.
And Eto's goal went for the near post. I don't know what he's doing. So both of them was his fault. But hey.
It sounds like you never let that go. It sounds like it's a
No,
sore
I can't
spot.
let that go. No, I can't.
Moving on then, last question we've got for you is the best goal you've seen live.
Best goal. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a worldie. I said to Tom, it could be one that's just significant, maybe for like the game it was in or whatever. But it doesn't have to be like a screamer, but just one that really is memorable.
What that I've seen, not maybe Ronaldo against Juventus. I was watching it in the I was watching it on TV.
Ronaldo against
and like
Juventus.
the bicycle kick that he scored.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Champions League.
Yeah, Champions League.
Great
yeah,
goal.
what a goal. Callum Davis, Kingstonian v.
I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there. That was as close to that. And like obviously the Wayne Rooney one against City as well, all similar. But Ronaldo's one was obviously the top. The height he got to for that bicycle.
Yeah.
Tom only came on the call today thinking you were going to pick one of his goals.
No, I remember his goal last year against I can't remember who, but it was for Mersham. I think it was the last minute winner or equaliser, top bins.
Yeah, it sounds right, Gus.
Tommy told us he only scores penalties, so that's all our fans know that Tom scores pens.
I'll give it to him. He took it out of his feet and just woof, top bins. I was like, what? Yeah.
So Gus, right, I think we're done with the questions.
Yeah, they're the 3 questions.
Just wanted to ask you, obviously, as an academy coach, head coach, obviously doing the under-9s. How long you've been at Palace now? Obviously, in terms of transitioning from a player and then coaching.
Yeah. So as I said, 12 years as a player, and straight after,
you went straight into the coaching.
Yeah, I went straight into, because as I finished Palace, literally that same season, I started doing part-time with Palace, with the coaching, part-time football, part-time coaching, part-time playing. So about 16 years maybe.
In total at Palace.
Yeah, more than half my lifetime.
Yeah,
really,
I know,
Palace,
that's brilliant. And obviously, I know Palace is your second club. Obviously, it's close to your heart. And yeah, just obviously in terms of the coaching side, what would you say to obviously many of our youngsters that you know that you work with as one of our K&R coaches? What would you say sort of one of the biggest things that you as a coach, when a player comes in on trial, if you're watching obviously a school match, you want to see from these boys and girls that are obviously enjoying their football and trying.
So yeah, as a new player comes in, we're just looking for someone that's first dedicated, willing to learn, who's a good listener, and obviously that wants to learn and adapt to that situation. Work rate is one, and after all those things comes into place, so work rate, determination, willing to learn, good behaviour, all those, we look at those, and then after that, then we look at the football part of the thing. Because so we look at how they are as a person, and then the football will take care of itself. So it's as long as you come in looking to work hard, looking to learn, listen and learn, then you'll have a chance.
Yeah, definitely, and that's what obviously we find in coaching our kids in our youth teams, that some of it's a hard one. You're trying to get across sort of the importance of them listening and understanding, but trying to not make it like they're in school and it being too sort of a dictatorship. But they're regimental. But I think that's where you find the boys that do go on and push on. We've had a few boys from us go on and sign for those Palace and other clubs. So
yeah,
and the ones that stand out for me is the ones that, like you said, are the ones that want to come, want to learn, want to listen. The dedication is there, whether it's raining, snow, whatever it might be. And yeah, just having that sort of character as well. I think character is a big part.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, no, brilliant, mate, brilliant. Thanks for taking the time to obviously complete the memory box for us. I hope all the viewers and everyone watching will take a lot from this. Obviously, a guy with your experience. You didn't mention that you also represented England.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it's really appreciate your time, mate.
All right, cheers.
Yeah, cheers
guys.
for coming on. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks.